Let's talk boxing verbiage, and specifically verbiages in our footwork and the importance of them. Not really the importance of them, but the verbiage. And so we have two things. It's going to be steps and pivots. So if we start off at steps, there's 4 areas that we have when we work on our steps. And the first one is going to be anchor steps. Now, once again, this is my system. This is what I call these steps. You would just take these things and figure out what your coach calls them, but their movement is going to be the same. What I call them may be different because your coach has different play calls. Each coach has different things that they set up. However, this is the basic footwork that happens off of them. So you have anchor steps. So that is where I just move in a direction and I step with the foot that's closest to the direction I want to go. So if I want to move backwards, my right foot is closer in the orthodox stance, I'm going to step with that one first. But if you notice for a split second, my left foot stays on the ground. Same thing as far as when I go to the right. Same thing when I go forward, my right foot is going to be on the ground for a split second. When I go to the left, my right foot is still going to be on the ground for a split second. So those are going to be called anchor steps, right? You could do them a little bit faster, but from a slow motion standpoint, they're all basically the same thing. The next thing that we have is something called shuffles. Shuffles allow you to do 2 things at once. They do have a little bit more danger because your feet are off the ground for a little bit longer, but you can think of a shuffle similar to a gallop. And in this instance, what happens is I'm going to be on my back foot when it comes to weight. I'm now going to lift this foot and I'm going to gallop backwards. When I go forward, it's similar. I'm going to lift that back foot and I gallop forwards. If I'm going to the right, lift that front foot, gallop. Lift that back foot, gallop. So now we look at it a little bit like that. But if you notice, for a split second, I need to make sure that my weight is on the foot where I want to go so I can just fall into it. So shuffles are gallops, right? The third thing that we have is something called shifts. Now that allows us to move and also go ahead and change our head slots at the same time. So if I'm on the front foot right now, I can jump forward, now I'm on the back foot. If I'm going over there to the right, I can go ahead and jump to the right, now I'm on the front foot. Now I can go ahead and come forward again. I can go backwards. I can go over. But if you notice, I'm moving with my feet and I'm changing my head slot at the same time. The last one that I'm gonna do for you is called half steps. Now half steps are just where you change your frame or you change your original position just by half a step. It's almost like a way for you to get a sneak peek. Now, if we talk about examples of this, what this looks like is, right now I'm in a normal stance, right? I am now taking a half step with my back foot, right? I haven't taken the full step. What that allows me to do is move with my left foot closer to my opponent or move back with my right foot to that original space where I was with my opponent. You are able to do half steps in any direction, the same way that you're able to do it with all the other steps, right? So I can half step a little bit over to the left. I can half step a little bit backwards, half step a little to the right, a half step a little bit forward. All those half step options are available for me. Now that we're done with the steps, we are now talking about pivots. Pivots are just a way for us to rotate, and that is around our opponent or in a circle. It's up to you, but pivots are where we have a rotation. This one would be a quarter turn. Now what I can do is I can get all the way into a 180, right? But all those options are available for me for pivots. So the first thing that we have for pivots is just a pivot, no step or anything required. I'm able to pivot to the right. I'm able to pivot to the left, right? The other thing that we do is we have step pivots. So now you're taking a step first, then you're pivoting. Now you're taking a step first, then you're pivoting. Those would be called step pivots. The other thing that we have is called jump pivots. So now I get both feet in the air and I'm able to turn and rotate. Notice that's slightly different than the shift because the shift I'm changing my head slots, but the pivot is another movement for you, right? Now, the other thing that we have is shift pivots. It's where I'm pivoting, but I'm also changing head slots. So that is similar to the shift as well, but it's slightly different in the way that you weaponize it, right? But that is the boxing verbiage. We have, once again, steps and pivots and all the broken down versions of it, but those are the ways that you can improve your footwork.